Well, the fear of violence at some Albuquerque high schools continues. 7 students at Manzano High School have now been suspended for spreading rumors about school violence. There have been similar rumors at La Cueva and Volcano Vista high schools. Now, the district says they have found no written or planned out threats and has no reason to believe that the rumors are credible. Meanwhile, the 16-year-old student accused of writing a threat in a boys' bathroom at Belen High School has been charged with interfering with the educational process. Police say the boy did not have access to guns, and they are confident that the threat was a hoax.
The police officer from Albuquerque who was just arrested accused of stealing from another officer is now out of jail, and his attorney says he's innocent.
I can tell you that the steroid use allegation with respect to this individual is patently false.
Daniel Burge right here was arrested on Tuesday accused of stealing a television from an apartment in Rio Rancho. Investigators say they found that TV in Burge's home this month. Now, on top of that, this goes back to what the attorney was talking about. Sources tell us that Mr. Burge is part of a steroid investigation along with other Albuquerque police officers. He is on paid suspension right now. Well, the mess in Torrance County from where a train slammed into a semi-truck yesterday should be getting cleared up soon. Take a look. This is high-definition video from Sky News 13 from the crash that happened about 1:30 yesterday afternoon, about 15 miles southeast of Vaughn. Investigators have not said why the train was on the tracks.
No jail time for a former executive who admits he scammed Christus St. Vincent Hospital Medical Center, that is, out of millions of dollars. Yesterday, Richard Crabtree pled guilty to 2 counts of fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit fraud. As the one-time chief operating officer of the Santa Fe Hospital, Crabtree steered lucrative contracts to an outside company that had already been done or contracted for work that had never gotten done. Crabtree got 5 years supervised probation. If he violates his probation, he could face up to 21 years in prison. A second plea hearing for another defendant in the case is set next month.
What police thought was a big spice bust in southeastern New Mexico, it turns out to be a bust because they have to give back everything they took. They had seized hundreds of packs of what they say is synthetic marijuana from a number of stores down at Hobbs, but when investigators went and tested this spice, it did not have anything in it to make it illegal.
Although we know this is a very dangerous drug, we know it's affecting the children in our community. It's affecting our call load every day, the types of calls we respond to. So it's kind of disheartening on our part to have to return that.
Well, spice dealers are now finding loopholes in the law, and police honestly can't do much about it. So what they are doing is they're working with the state to make more chemicals illegal.
Animal activists are wondering what happened to a 6-week-old Chihuahua found hiding in the bushes in Santa Fe with 2 broken legs. A vet and animal workers named this little guy Nicholas. Vets say his injuries suggest that he could have been thrown from a car.
One of the fractures is a femur. I mean, that takes a fair bit of force for that to happen.
Poor little guy there. Tomorrow, Nicholas will undergo surgery. Now, no word yet on when he'll be available for adoption. News 13 talks to Breaking Bad actor Stephen Michael Quesada about him running for the Albuquerque Public School District.
I went to Lavaland, I went to John Adams, I went to West Mesa. I've lived in that area. I'm just a regular guy. Yeah, I'm on a TV show.
A regular but down-to-earth guy. We love him. Mr. Quesada, who plays DEA agent Stephen Gomez on the hit show, is looking to fill the newly created seat on Albuquerque's west side. That is the school board seat where he grew up. Now, Quesada says he has spent decades helping out kids through programs at Youth Development Incorporated and wants to encourage students who are not excelling in school to look into the arts. So far, the actor is running unopposed.
All right, a little while ago, we told you how some kids here in Albuquerque are helping the children after that horrific school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. That was on last week, almost a week ago now.
Yes, and now you can help out by donating teddy bears and stuffed animals. Our News 13's David Romero is live in the Newsplex with more. Good morning, David.
Well, good morning, Elizabeth. Now, it's a soft, cuddly way to bring some sort of comfort to the classmates and the families of those affected by last Friday's unthinkable act. And listeners to any one of the Clear Channel radio stations here in Albuquerque have come through with just that. Hundreds and hundreds of stuffed bears to be eventually sent to Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut. Clear Channel New Mexico partnered up with the company's group in Connecticut to collect the stuffed bears. The collection began on Monday, and within hours, dozens of the stuffed animals started showing up. Even while we were there on Tuesday, 2 women from the city of Albuquerque Child Development Center brought in 2 full bags of the toys.
Well, I'm a preschool teacher, and I would hate for my children to have to go through anything like this. So we did it. We got donations, so we decided to bring them here.
After such a horrible tragedy, people want to do something, and this kind of helps them do something to help out.
And that collection from Clear Channel New Mexico will take place through tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. You can do this by dropping off any one of those stuffed animals at their offices located on the corner of Jefferson and I-25. Elizabeth, back to you.
Sure is a great thing, David. Thank you. Kids at UNM Children's Hospital will also be getting teddy bears. State Land Commissioner Ray Powell and his workers donated all of them, and they will be passing them out today.
Now, it really is just the small, simple things that can end up making a huge difference to the kids up in Newtown. I also love this. They're sending therapy dogs to Newtown, Connecticut.
I heard about that yesterday.
Yeah, dozens of dogs from all around the country, and different therapy programs are going up there just to give the kids and the families some comfort.
Whatever can help. I tell you.
Absolutely.